Hi, welcome to Dumbest in the Room podcast. I'm Steven Crocker. I just wanted to take this first episode to introduce myself and let everyone who's listening and watching know who the host is. I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I'm 26 years old. I've lived in Virginia Beach my whole life. I went to Old Dominion University and graduated in 2016 with a degree in communications. I've worked on some short films there and a feature film as an alum. It was pretty cool. I work as a morning newscast director at a local news station. I've been there for about 5 years. I worked part-time first, and then I got a full-time job doing the robotic cameras and teleprompter, and then when a position opened up to direct, I hopped on it, and I've been directing for 2 years. It's very fun. I never saw myself working in news, but here we are, and it's a lot of fun. Every day is a little bit different because the stories are different. I also own a production company. It's called Lightship Productions. We do web videos for companies in the Hampton Roads area and a little bit around, Virginia and North Carolina. I got into this field from skateboarding. I started skating when I was probably 10 years old. I quickly learned that I was not very good at it. So the route for me to take was to start filming, and then that's kind of what led me into this media career path. I'm a testicular cancer survivor. I was diagnosed just before my 25th birthday. And then I spent all of 2019 going through chemo, and I had a surgery called a retroperitoneal lymph node dissection where they cut me down my stomach and then removed some lymph nodes in my back. I had that surgery in Indiana with one of the best surgeons in the country for that particular surgery. So I was very thankful for that. And just recently passed 1 year cancer-free, so I'm very thankful to be here and have the opportunity to do a podcast, even though I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm the dummy in the room. Which leads me to my next point, which I've always been kind of self-deprecating as a joke. My grandparents will say, "Oh, you're so great, and I'll say, "No, I'm kind of an idiot," just as a joke. But I've always been fascinated by how things are and why they work the way that they do, and I'm always asking dumb questions, and my coworkers probably are kind of annoyed by me asking questions that they don't even really have the answers to when a certain news story happens. And I'm just curious, why would they do it this way, and why don't they do something like this? So I'm just going to talk in this show with people who have all different kinds of jobs, things that we might look at as mundane or we might look at as fascinating. And, everything has its own intricacies. And I was working with my brother and dad earlier this year building a block wall, and that's what they do for a living. But I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about, and I didn't know how to do any of it. So, I work with computers all day, and they're out beating the heat in the sun, building walls, and it's just two entirely different worlds, and I know nothing about theirs, and they don't really know anything about mine. So I want to talk with people on this show. Like, I've got my oncologists lined up. I've got directors of different mediums, film and TV and commercial, athletes, small business owners, firefighters, all kinds of different jobs, because everything, like I said, has its own intricacies. There's things that happen that they do every day and nobody knows anything about. So I find that really, really interesting, and I just want to learn all about it. I've been inspired to do this podcast by a few different podcasts. I'll start with Men Up to Cancer with Trevor Maxwell. He talks with all men who are going through cancer and their caregivers and learns about their journeys and their battles. And it's really an inspiration to hear everything that everybody's been through and is thriving. And then there's Reality of Reality with Eliza Rosen that I love to listen to because I'm a big reality TV fan, which is kind of where I would like to end up working. She talks with producers of all different shows and learns kind of about things going on behind the curtain on those shows. And then the Nine Club, which is just about skateboarding, but it's so funny. I find that one really, really funny. It's got Chris Roberts, Kelly Hart, Steezus, Roger Bagley, Justin Eldridge, John Wilson. And that one I find hilarious. And, that's not for everybody, but it's a fun one to listen to if you're a skateboarder. And they even interview people like Steve-O, who isn't a skateboarder by trade, but that one's really, really funny. So thank you so much for listening to this first one. And I'm going to start doing interviews and releasing episodes in 2021 after I kind of finish building out this studio that I'm in. I kind of want to decorate it all official and look nice. And appreciate you taking the time to listen.